Hello everyone, welcome to NG Classes YouTube channel. In this video we'll consider one of the very important properties of DFT, which I call it as circular folding, and it is also known as time reversal of a sequence. To state the definition, let me write the definition of this. If x of n leads to x of k by taking DFT, then x of minus n. This indicates the sequence is circularly folded sequence. It is not just the time shift, rather it is circular time shift. Is that fine? So if I just indicate x of minus n, this is the time shift, and x of minus n with the two parentheses indicate it is circular time shift. Is that okay? So if then x of minus n, the base is with respect to n, this is also equal to x of n minus n. This leads to, if I take the DFT of this, I'm going to get capital x of minus k. So this is again nothing but uh, whatever the shift I have, it is circular in nature. It is not just the time shift, rather it is circular time shift. Is that okay? Of base n is equal to x of n minus k. Is that okay? So this is the definition of circular folding. Now I need to consider the proof. So let me prove the same thing. Uh, to start with, I'll consider the definition of x of k. What is x of k? It is very well known, which is DFT of x of n, which is equal to, I've got the expression for this, summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n wn to the power k into n. So this is the definition. Now in this definition, what I do is I will substitute, I will substitute m equal to, small m equal to n minus n, capital N minus small n. So let's see that what I'm going to get. X of k is equal to summation. So now the new variable is going to be m equal to what? So what I'm going to get now, lower limit. Here earlier n was the variable which was equal to 0. So in this expression I will put n equal to 0. What I'm going to get? M equal to n. So this is the lower limit. M is equal to n. What is going to be my upper limit? In the earlier case, small n was equal to n minus 1. Here, whatever the small n, this was equal to capital N minus n. So let me put that. M is equal to n minus, so here I'll put n minus 1. So what I'm going to get now, n minus n plus 1, both would get cancelled, and I'm going to get m equal to plus 1. Is that okay? So this is how I get the upper limit. What I have later, x of n. So what is this n going to be in terms of m? So I'll just take this n to the LHS and take m to the RHS. I'm going to get n minus m. Is that fine? Wn to the power k, and I have a small n here, so which is equal to, I have written here n minus m. So I will write n minus m. So this is what I'm going to get now. Is that okay? Next, what I do is I'll just say one sentence. Because of the implicit periodicity of x of n, so that means x of n is periodic, the limits of the summation can be changed. So here the limits are it is n to n, or I can also write it as summation m equal to 1 to n. This is also possible. So I'll write this. This is useful for me. So next I have x of n minus m wn to the power uh, k into n minus m. Is that okay? So now I said, as x of n is implicit periodic, the limits of the summation can be changed. To what? I would now write m equal to 0 to n minus 1. Is that fine? Earlier m was equal to 1 to n, so now I want to subtract 1, it becomes 0 lower limit, and upper limit subtracted 1, it becomes n minus 1. So I could write this as the signal is periodic. Is that fine? So rest of the things I will not touch, they'll remain as they are. X of n minus m, and that gets multiplied with wn to the power k into n minus m. So this is what I get. So next what I do is, since m is a dummy variable, so I would call that m is a dummy variable. So what happens if it is a dummy variable? I can replace that with any other variable. I would next write x of k is equal to summation. So instead of writing m, I will write n. Why is that? Because I'm more familiar with n. So I'll write n equal to 0 to n minus 1. Then I have x of n minus n. So instead of m, I'm writing it as n. Is that fine? Wn to the power k into capital N minus small n. Is that okay? So next what I'm going to get, so just try to simplify this. I will write summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n minus n wn to the power k into capital N into wn to the power minus k into n. Is this fine? So now I could write wn to the power k into capital N is equal to 1. I hope you understand. Why is that? Because wn is nothing but e to the power minus j 2 pi divided by capital N. In the numerator I have k into n. I will include that. N and n would cancel. I'm going to get e to the power minus j 2 pi k. I already proved that this is equal to 1, making use of Euler's rule. I hope you people remember that. Hence I would put this as 1. So what I'm left with now, I'm going to get x of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n minus n. I'm left with wn to the power minus k into n. Is that fine? So in this expression I would replace k with n minus k. Is that fine? So just for the simplicity, I would replace k with n minus k. So what is going to happen? So this summation remains as it is, summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1. Here I have x of n minus n as it is. Here I have wn to the power minus, in place of k I'm going to get n minus k into small n as it is. Is that fine? So next I would try to simplify that. What I'm going to get now, I will write summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n minus n wn to the power minus capital N into small n. This gets multiplied with wn to the power k into n. Is that fine? So now I should think, what is wn to the power minus n into n? So what I'm going to get now? So I would say that is also equal to 1. How? Wn is e to the power minus j 2 pi divided by capital N. This gets multiplied with minus n into n. This becomes plus n into n. So n and n would cancel. I'm going to get e to the power j 2 pi into n. So again, making use of the Euler's rule, I could say that that is also equal to 1. So what I have got finally I got summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n minus n. So this term turned out to be 1, and I got wn to the power k into n, which is x of n minus k. Is that fine? So now what is this expression? So if you look closely, this resembles the expression of DFT. So here you just look, I'll just go up and check. This is the expression. If x of n is the input signal, its DFT is x of k. In place of x of n, what I have now? I have x of n minus n. So what this must be? It says that hence DFT of x of n minus n is nothing but x of n minus k. Is that okay? So this is what I wanted to prove towards the end. So if I go up and check x of n minus n, DFT of this is equal to x of n minus k. Is that okay? So this is what I have proved now. To prove other result, put capital N equal to 0 here. I would get the other result, or DFT of x of minus n. So I'll not just write minus n with one parenthesis. I will include two parentheses. It's mainly because I don't have time reversal here. I don't have time shift here. Rather than it is circular in nature. Is that okay? So x of minus n I don't have. It must be x of minus n with two parentheses. That is equal to x of minus k. And again this must also be with two parentheses. So this is what the property circular folding, or also known as time reversal of a sequence. As I said, this is one of the very important properties of DFT. I hope you people have understood how to prove this property. In the next video, in the upcoming videos, we'll consider a few numericals on these things, and later we'll move on to other properties, other very important properties of DFT. And meanwhile, subscribe to the channel NG Classes for more interesting videos on digital signal processing. Thank you everyone for watching.